Hi everyone, it's Kristen. So today we're going to be talking about Dazzler 18, part 2 of her versus the Absorbing Man and guest starring Black Bolt. So the first page just is recounting what happened in issue 17. And then Creel, he destroyed the device because he said it was still giving him a headache, and he felt as powerful as he did the last time he absorbed one of Odin's cosmic bolts. So, I mean, that's really powerful. So he basically blows past Dazzler and he's like, I don't even need you anymore. I'm not even going to bother with you. Like, you're beneath me now. So she runs to go and calls the Avengers and tell them what's going on, like that he's coming for them. Jarvis answers, thinks she's a kid pulling a prank. So he's like, oh, okay, whatever. Um, so she's like, well, now what? And she calls the Fantastic Four, and it says no one's available to take her call. So she's like, what do I do now? Well, they're not that far from here, the Baxter building, so I'm just going to go there and warn them and see if anyone is actually there. So Warren is thinking about how, he went to Dazzler's grandmother to try to find out more about Dazzler's mom. And she basically says, I can't tell you anything. I can't betray my son's, confidence even any more than I have. So, and he looks for her, on his own, but he's like coming up empty. Like he said, he could have hired, the best private investigators, but he wanted to do this like by himself to basically prove that, he was really invested in Dazzler by doing this himself. So Dazzler lets herself into the Baxter building using her powers. She runs through all the rooms trying to find anyone from the Fantastic Four. What she doesn't know is there's cameras watching her, and if she wasn't designated a friend, there'd be like 100 defense weapons, like, turned loose on her. So she's still not finding anyone. She comes to the communication room, notices that one of the consoles is still warm, pushes the on button, and there's these two beings in superpowered, what it looks like, superhero costumes. And Medusa is like, who dares? Like, because she's royalty. She's like, I'm Medusa, and this is my cousin, also husband, Black Bolt. And we are, of the Inhumans. And who are you? What are you doing there? How'd you get into the building? Why are you disturbing us on our home base on the moon? And Dazzler's like, the moon? Wow, I never imagined, you know. But the reason I'm calling, and she just kind of like starts chattering really, really fast, and Medusa's like, okay, I need you to, calm down, talk slower. And Dazzler's like, let me start over. My name is Dazzler. And she's like, oh, Dazzler, the Fantastic Four has talked about you and your powers. You are a friend. And so after she hears what Dazzler is needing, she says, stay calm. Black Bolt will be there momentarily to, assist you. And Dazzler's like, but you're on the moon, so how? And yay, Lockjaw. Like he's the best. I mean, I wish I had a pet like that can transport me anywhere. That'd be awesome. Plus, I mean, look how cute he is, and like he's just a big furry puppy. Oh yeah. He's the best part about this issue, I will say. So Lockjaw brings Black Bolt to her and then disappears. And Dazzler's talking on and on and on, and she's like, aren't you going to answer me? Like, what do you think about what's going on? Like, what, why aren't you answering me? And she's like, oh my gosh, can you not talk? And he, like, shakes his head, that he can't talk. And she's like, oh my gosh, I'm such an idiot. Like, I didn't know. I mean, whoa, basically, I didn't realize. So, basically, she kind of tells him more about what's going on. He gathers her up since she insists that she doesn't want to fight him, especially since her powers are the ones that cause, him to get this huge. That she's like, it's just better if I stay back. So he plants her, a good distance away, um, starts to engage Absorbing Man, basically using different tactics. His electron blast, physical force, but actually striking him like caused this light feedback, and so it knocked Black Bolt out basically. And Dazzler's oh my gosh, reluctantly, I can't let him kill Black Bolt, so she jumps in, uses her powers on Absorbing Man, even though she knows it does no good. And then so Ken and Angel see her fighting Creel on TV, and they both rush to her side. And so Black Bolt creates this like force bubble to protect them, like an energy shield. And they kind of start communicating, um, very slowly and kind of painfully, because of course he still can't speak, but they're, kind of like charades, kind of, like this is what's going on. So, and Dazzler finally gets it. Like he's not mute. He can speak. It's just he can't speak because like he's that powerful. And he thinks that a quantity of light that's powerful enough can basically negate Absorbing Man's light. So she's like, I can do that, I think, but I need a, powerful sound to use. And he's like, Black Bolt's like, that's me. And she's like, I don't know if this is going to work, but, we kind of don't have any other options. So she gets between Absorbing Man and Black Bolt. Black Bolt opens his mouth to speak, and not just speak, shouts. And Dazzler's like, oh my gosh, the sound is overwhelming. She's like, I can't let any of it stray, otherwise it will destroy the city. Like she realizes how powerful it is, because anytime he's spoken, he's destroyed mountains and things. I remember, I want to say it was like that cartoon Hulk and the Agents of Smash. Like Black Bolt just whispered smash and like destroyed the whole town. I think that's how I remember it. Anyway, he's super powerful. So again, Black Bolt is pouring it on. Dazzler's taking it in. She has so much power, she's levitating with power. And Creel's like, what are you doing? How can you fly? Why are you flying? And Dazzler is like, kind of like when she has the cosmic power, she's like, it's kind of intoxicating. It's like, I feel so powerful, so strong. This must be how Creel feels. And then she's like, but I'm not him. I'm not evil. She has to basically ground herself to remind herself that she's not that. So she lets loose all of her power, all the power that she, like, her light power that she absorbed through Black Bolt sound. But unfortunately, since she let go of all of her power, she no longer is levitating and she's falling. Black Bolt tries to reach her in time, but he's too far away. And but Angel's there, and Angel saves her. And Ken's also there, and she's like, well, this is kind of awkward. Like, how about you guys reintroduce yourselves? And she goes over to Black Bolt and says, oh my gosh, did we kill him? But no, he's breathing. So she's relieved of that. So Warren says that he's gonna go to Rikers, and Dazzler says, to Black Bolt, thank you, Black Bolt. I'll never forget how you came through for me, and gives him a hug. And then the second best part, Lockjaw comes back. And Warren is like, what is that? And then Black Bolt disappears. And so the therapist and the grandmother are still trying to get through to Carter. And they're trying to get a hold of Allison. And Allison is hanging out with Vanessa and kind of, Dazzler kind of recounts just what's going on with her mother, and Vanessa feels bad. Imagine growing up and never knowing your mother. And then she goes, "Oh my gosh, I'm going to be late to my piano lesson or my singing lesson, so I better go." So she goes to her singing lesson and she's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm a little bit thirsty. Can I, where's the kitchen?" And her singing instructor, Barbara, tells her, and she opens the door and she's like, "Oh my gosh, no, what? It can't be." And so next time, the mystery of the room in Johnny Guitar and Dr. Sax. So, yeah, we will find out what was in the room, what she saw in the next issue. So I hope you will join me for that. And until next time, bye.